Hi everybody. It is cold, wet, and raining outside, but today I wanted to show you guys a little project to get started on things before spring actually starts happening. The week before last, I had, with my kids, sat down and planted some seedlings to get things going for the garden. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to show you guys how to do that at home with just stuff you have around the house. Now, there's plenty of places as far as like your big box home improvement stores, your Walmarts, your dollar stores, whatnot, that have the mini greenhouses and the seed starter kits and everything else. But this is definitely something that you can do at home. Now what I have here is just a bowl with some potting soil, and as I showed you before, I like to amp it up with a little bit of stuff, such as crushed eggshells and coffee grounds. And all that does is amp up the soil as far as the nutrients that it gives the plant, and helps with water absorption, retention, helps with drainage. The eggshells, like I said before, they help with the calcium, keeping the plant strong. It can also prevent fruit rot on the ends. So what I'm going to do now is I have some old coffee grounds. They're from yesterday morning, so I'm just going to dump those in here, and we'll get that mixed up, and then I'll show you guys what to do. Okay, just give it a quick toss. And you can add anything you want. You can put Miracle-Gro in here. You can add perlite, anything that you feel comfortable adding to your garden soil. Whether it maybe need to be more acidic, just depending on where you live. If you need more drainage, if your soil is clay heavy. We have very clay heavy soil here, but like I said, this is a potting soil that I had in the garden to use. So your next piece that you're going to need is an egg carton. I do recommend the cardboard ones, not the styrofoam ones, because it becomes a little difficult trying to get them out to replant them. And the great thing about using the cardboard ones is when they're ready, when the seedlings have grown to where they can be planted, you literally can just cut each of these and plant them directly in the soil, because eventually the cardboard will decompose and just become part of the soil that the root of the seedling has made itself a home in. And what I also like to do is just take a marker, and you can see today I'm going to be planting some Armenian cucumber seeds. Thanks to my friend Heather, I'm really excited about these. I haven't grown this type before. But anyways, what you're going to do is you're literally just going to fill each of the pods with some soil, and then you're going to plant the seedlings in there. So just scoop it in, and make sure you have a good amount in there. As you water them and the soil settles, it will go down a little bit, and you want to give your seedling as much soil to grow in as the little cups will hold. I'm a coffee addict, so this soil smells amazing. I don't know, maybe I'm weird. Does anybody else like the smell of dirt? Let's see. Almost. So our growing season is about to hit. I live in North Texas, and our spring to summer, even fall, and we have a long growing season. We can usually actually get 2 or 3 growing seasons out of our crops. It may be a little different for those of you that are north, but the great thing about the seedlings, especially being in these, is it's something that you can keep on the windowsill, or on a table near a window where they're getting some light, and they'll be perfectly happy and content in these containers. When you go into places, to buy a tray of flowers or whatnot, even the little marigold pots, there may be a 1 by 1 inch, little column that they have them in. So these will be happy, for quite a few weeks, as long as they're getting, the right amount of moisture and sunshine. So don't be afraid to start them now. Okay, I think those are full enough. Okay, so obviously with an egg carton, unless you're getting the smaller ones, you're going to have 12 spaces for your seeds. So when I do seedlings, I like to plant a minimum of 2 seeds per pot. And all that does is reassure me that I'm going to at least get one growing. If you do one and it doesn't grow, you kind of end up wasting that seedling space to something that didn't happen. So let me see. Yeah, this will be perfect. Okay, just take a regular pencil and you're just gonna poke a hole in the middle. And with most seeds, you don't need to go deeper than anywhere between 1/4 of an inch and a 1/2 inch into the soil. So you don't have to worry about it being deep enough to plant these seeds. Okay. Okay, so with the seeds that I got from my friend Heather, I was able to plant 14 seeds. So I filled up 7 of the seedling pots. Now what I'm going to do is I have 5 more, so let me get my marker. And I'm going to write, what did I pick out? We're going to do eggplant in the other ones. I'm a big fan of eggplant. Okay, so I have the Armenian cucumber and the eggplant written down. And if you can see in this corner, I actually wrote the date, February 19th, and that's just going to give me an idea to keep track of when I planted them, how long they're taking to germinate, so on and so forth. That way when I go to plant, I have a pretty good idea on how old the plants are. So let's finish our planting. And again, same thing stands for the eggplant. I'm going to end up putting 2 seeds in each pot. If they do both end up growing, it's not, a make or break deal. You can, if the plants are old enough and sturdy enough, you can separate them because they'll each have their own root system. So if you just give them a little bit of a separation and plant them, that will totally work as well. Okay. So I've got the eggplant seeds in, I have the Armenian cucumber seeds in, and now what we're gonna do is we're just gonna give them a little bit of a water. You don't wanna do anything too drastic because what we're gonna end up doing is wrapping them, so you don't wanna like soak them. When we wrap them in the cellophane, it's actually gonna work kind of like a greenhouse. It's gonna become its own ecosystem. And the moisture will just recycle itself as it's exhausted, from above the plants and then trickles back down into the soil. So we'll give them a good watering, but you just don't want it dripping wet. Again, this is cardboard, so it's gonna absorb any moisture you put in there. And if you have an overabundance of moisture, you can actually risk causing mold, and you don't want that, especially with brand new baby plants. So let's get some water. And like I said, just a little bit in each of the spots. And it'll quickly absorb. All right. These babies are watered. Now what we're gonna do is, I like to cut this out, the centerpiece of the egg carton, And the only reason why I like to do that, it just kind of helps let a little bit more sunshine in when you put it by the windowsill. Because being inside the window, you know, yes, it may be getting sun, but it's not going to be getting as much because of the sides and being inside and so on and so forth. So I'm just getting, you know, a straight edge. And with the cardboard, it's pretty easy to cut. You may run into a little bit of a issue with some of the spots that have that pivot, but and this is an awesome project to do with your kids. I did it with mine and they had a blast, you know, picking out the seeds that they wanted to try out. We try to, you know, try new things every year. So they got to decide on that. We got some patty pan squash planted. We got watermelon seedlings started, kale, Swiss chard, and a few other ones. But they had a blast putting them together. Okay, so as you can see, there's the opening up top. And I don't know if you can tell on this corner, the water is already absorbing in the bottom. So that's what I'm saying. Like, this will be holding its own moisture for a while. You don't have to worry about it. Okay, so next step, what you want to do is you want to get maybe some plastic wrap. Okay, I'm going to put you on pause. My kids misplaced my plastic wrap. Be right back. Haha, found it. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to lay out a piece big enough to wrap it long ways. So if your egg carton is sitting here, have it go this way. That way you can fold it this way and then fold it this way. So let me get one laid out. Okay, so we have our egg carton. We're going to lay it kind of in the middle. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's getting all wrapped up together, so. But just take one side, drag it over, and take the other side and drag it over. Now the top doesn't have to be crystal clear. If your cellophane wrinkles, that's totally fine. The light's going to get in just the same. The only reason you would, you know, really stress getting it perfect is if you wanted that perfect, you know, viewing window to watch them grow, which can be really exciting for the kids. I just like to take one more piece because it helps seal the ends and lock in all that moisture that we put in the soil. And then drape it across the top and kind of wrap it around. So we just keep going around like this. There we go. All right. And there is your seedling box. It's ready to grow some stuff. I'm going to set this in the windowsill, and I will show you guys in a couple weeks what the seedlings are looking like. It may actually be a couple days. Okay, so we have the other one finished, and real quick, I wanted to show you guys what a seedling carton looks like, you know, as it's gotten to grow. So when I was doing it with the kids, I did marigolds. I like to add marigolds to the garden. It helps attract pollinators, helps keep certain pests away from the vegetables, and just adds a nice, you know, splash of color to your garden. So, and marigolds are super easy to grow. You can get a lot of them out of one pack. This was not even half a pack of marigold seeds. This was literally just a few, sprinkled it in there, and here's the growth so far. Pretty cool, huh? And then what I'll do is I will, when I go to plant them in the garden, when they've gotten strong enough, I will just cut each of these cups out and lay the cups directly into the soil. So they will have been in their home, you know, there's no stress on the roots from transferring or any of that. They will stay in the same pod, you know, that they've been growing in since they were a seed. So I really hope you guys give this a try. Like I said, it's really fun to do with the kids. And it's something that, you know, is exciting to watch grow, especially if it's still cold where you live. You know, just to see some life happening, some growth happening, especially with plants, is exciting in the dead of winter. So please give this a shot. It's a really cool project. Kids will love it, and I personally love it too as an adult. One more thing, if you don't have any of the egg cartons, there actually is also a way you can use toilet paper tubes. Now, I have a cheerleader during football season, so we use them for spirit sticks, but in the off season, you can only save so many toilet paper tubes. So another great idea is taking toilet paper tubes, and what you do is you simply just make 4 cuts in the bottom, and then fold the 4 sides down. And what you do is you create a little base. This works the same way as the cardboard toilet paper or the cardboard egg carton. Fill it with some dirt, put a seed in it, and put them all in one of the deep welled Tupperware containers. Keep it wet, keep it covered, and that'll work as a greenhouse as well for it. And then you just literally take these tubes, there's no cutting needed, and plant them directly into the soil. So there's many ways to get this going. You don't have to buy a mini greenhouse. You can use what you've got, which is something I'm really big on, reuse, repurpose, and this is one of the ways to do it. So happy gardening, stay blessed. I'll see you guys soon. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.